NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and rock.
So here we are again, Notts Rockers, for another NRC-037 over YouTube. Yes. This week we're talking to a lesser known promoter, but if you're into the heavier genres and punk, you will know him. Anyway, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell to be notified of more podcasts.
Right, welcome today. We're in the Cromwell Snug in the Ye Olde Salutation. I've got Lee Dowling with me. He was introduced to me through a mutual friend of ours, which is Phil Core. I honestly have not researched your promotions company for the simple fact that I want to be surprised as well as everybody else. So would you like to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do, Lee?
I'm Lee Stevens Dowling and I run Snapmare Promotions, for better or worse.
For better or for worse?
Yeah.
Okay, so what sort of genres do you go into?
It started out like 6 years ago. And I just want to say thank you to Sean Duggan, the old landlord at the Old Angel, who gave me my start. It started, I was just booking punk stuff, but the irony is eventually, after about 2 years, give or take, I ended up booking Extreme Noise Terror at the Angel. And then all the death metal bands started showing up. And then, as that happens, the black metal bands show up. And then it's kind of been like this weird amalgamation of black metal, death metal, hardcore, crust, just anything that comes to me. I've had harsh noise acts on as well. I had Crowhurst, great guy. But yeah, I'd get just about everything these days. Just about everything.
That's really cool. And what venues do you do them at then?
Wherever will have me.
Wherever they'll have you.
Yeah, at the minute I've got some stuff on at Albert's, Phil Taylor, big up to him forever. And yeah, just wherever will have me if it's available. Obviously, some venues you can't book gigs on because they're not built for live music or they ain't got the equipment. And it's like, that one will do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to just get whatever's available.
So you said you listened to a couple of the podcasts. Did you listen to Phil Core's one?
Yes, I did. I was listening to that and I was laying in bed and I was just kind of like drifting off. And then he said my name and I was like, what?
Cool.
What? And then suddenly, just as I'm about to go to sleep again, he says my name again. And then I bursted out laughing when you spoke about the Blame Phil origins, because I've had some brushes with that guy as well.
Oh, fair play. Well, we don't talk about that guy. That's not the guy, I think. Right. So, like with Phil, he said he was going around different places. Obviously, the Old Angel is now the Angel Microbrewery. So I'm guessing do you still do gigs there?
Nope.
No, fair enough. So where's the most inviting place in Nottingham that's allowed you to do gigs then?
Inviting as in I can go in and drink there casually, or inviting as in I can book there casually?
As in book there?
Well, I think all of them have been pretty good. I mean, I remember when Phil said, like, the Angel, when it got took over by Ben and his little crew, didn't want the metal stuff, but I'm not saying I was the first to get some death metal in on there, because I know Balti and Benedict had some dealings there, but I had Blood Red Throne play there, and after that, I kind of sort of entered a semi-working relationship where they give me a bit of cash, because at the time I had my son on the way, so that was nice of them to help me out. And then they stopped doing it, and I kind of got a bit annoyed by certain things, and that was the end of that. But the most welcoming, I'd say, I'm just going to say the Old Angel, just because Sean Duggan, great guy. You know, he was playing here I think it was last week, and I helped him load his gear out for old time's sake.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, do you want to give us a quote of inspiration?
About Nottingham or about just life in general?
Just life in general, I guess.
Okay, this quote comes from Jason Williamson from the Sleaford Mods. To put it into context, he was asked about Nottingham and I describe it. And this can be applied to everything in life. I love it that much. It's a shithole. Everywhere's a shithole, but here's home. And another quote I live and die by is, Skegness is God's paradise.
Okay, I've never heard Skeg Vegas be called God's paradise.
You have now.
Oh, bloody hell, wow. That's very interesting. That's absolutely awesome. So you're originally from Notts then?
Born and raised around there.
Okay, where from? Which area?
Gedlin.
So you're still in Gedlin now then?
Yeah, I did move out and live in Bulwell for a few years with my then girlfriend, but that didn't work out, unfortunately. Some will say it's my fault, but whatever. But I live in Gedlin now. I've got a flat and I love it there. It's just where I grew up. It's the area I know, and my local is £2.40 a pint.
Sorry, say that again. £2.40
a pint, yes.
I need to get that into my head.
The Phoenix pub in Gedlin.
Wow, that's really good.
It's very run down. It's had like 3 landlord changes over the past 3 months, and yeah, it's quiet. No one in there dresses alternative or anything like that. So it's just like, I can just go in, slunk my head down and just watch Forest.
As in the football team?
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're playing today, aren't they?
I don't really follow
shirts.
like match times or anything like that. It's just if I catch it, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch a load more sports because I'm just kind of like, I'm 26 and I've got 3 kids, and I kind of got sucked up into the World Cup fever where it looked like England were going to win. And then it was like, oh, yeah, okay, this is all right. And one night I was at my mate's house. I think we were drunk just watching American football, and I really got into it. And it was like, oh yeah, this stuff ain't so bad. So yeah, whenever I see a sport on or I can find a way to stream it, I'll do that.
Fair play. Okay, what do you do outside of the promotions, I suppose?
Well, I work a bit for my dad. That's quite fun.
All right, what's that doing?
Digging.
All right, fair play.
Just digging wherever he tells me to dig, making concrete mixtures and stuff like that.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I love my dad, but he really did break me heart one day because when I first started booking gigs, I thought I was like, oh yeah, I'm the big rocking rebel outlaw of the family, all this. And my dad goes, son, I used to book reggae nights back in the 80s. And your granddad used to run the Ted's Club in Bulwell. Well, I think it was Bulwell, maybe in Aspley, but yeah. And from what I'm told, my granddad, who I never met, actually booked Shaky Stevens.
Really?
So I'm told.
Wow, so without even knowing it, promotion was in the blood?
Don't say it that way because you're scaring me for my son and my 2 daughters.
Well, you never know. They could follow in the family footsteps by the sounds of it.
If my kids are listening to this, please don't.
What, in years to come?
Don't do it. Settle down, focus on uni and college, and get real jobs that pay you good money, and play golf or something. I don't know.
Play golf, fair play.
Well, golf seems like a stress-free activity.
Yeah, pretty much is. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and there's this guy called, and I've completely forgotten his name, Brian Hood. He runs a 6-figure home studio podcast. He's a metal mixing engineer in the States.
Oh, okay.
He suffers from ADHD, but the one thing he was going on about was like, he plays golf and he's a real big metalhead. So it's not that far-fetched.
People have weird hobbies. I mean, I once tried out to be a pro wrestler, but I had kids and it was like very scary for me because it's like, okay, I've got a baby in a crib. If I do this move wrong, I could potentially break my leg or be crippled from the neck down. So it's like, yeah, I think I'll just watch it instead. So yeah, people have strange hobbies, man. I mean, at one point when I first started going to the gym, you know, ended up on the punch bags because I used to do martial arts growing up, and I was considering taking up bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the idea out. It's just, I'm 26 now, I've got 3 kids, and it's kind of like, yeah, money, yeah, can I be bothered? Or, yeah, am I going to get too messed up?
Yeah.
I have to factor those things in.
Yeah, extreme sports is something you really have to delve into, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
I call it extreme sports. I think,
I
especially.
think bare knuckle boxing can be classed as extreme.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the alternative scene. What compelled you to be into it?
It's kind of a strange one for me because there was this girl I used to know. I used to knock about with her when I was a kid, and she was all. It was nothing like that. We weren't seeing each other or anything, but we were just friends. And she was into stuff like and I hate to bring this back, the vampirefreaks.com, like weird industrial stuff. And she was into bands like Cradle of Filth and Evanescence. And yeah, Cradle is sort of okay now that I'm a bit older, but Evanescence, I draw the line there. But yeah, I got into that. And then I started hanging around the Market Square at 14. And you had Chris Graham, whatever his name is.
Chris Graham Martin.
Yeah, we call him Chris Davis. Me and him went to the same school together.
Oh, right.
We were in the same year, not in the same class, but there was a guy in there. His name was Callum. He introduced me to death metal and black metal. So it kind of just grew from there, really. And I got into punk and hardcore through Grand Theft Auto. Yeah,
right.
I know, Grand Theft Auto 4 with the LCHC radio station. That was like a really, because I'm a massive gaming nerd. That was quite a pleasant surprise. And next thing I know, I end up in the Old Angel. And, well, I was just looking around thinking, well, trench coat's got to go now. Got to get yourself a denim jacket and put patches on it. And that's pretty much what happened. And yeah, you just find stuff. And this is the thing I always say about YouTube and stuff. I mean, you can say it's bad all you want, but it's great for finding new stuff. And when you're like 16, 17, you just want to find everything. What kid doesn't? I mean, I can understand why some older people are like, oh, you're not like getting records. Music this day is like valueless, whatever. But, you know, what kid has that much money where they can afford to buy everything from a CD shop, especially back when I was a kid, back in the early 2000s when the recession hit. So, yeah, that's how I got into it.
I completely understand that one, especially as like paper round money doesn't go that far, does it? I
never did a paper round.
Well, I did. I did one of them afternoon ones, and it really didn't go that far. And like people say about tape trading and stuff like that, I did CD trading sometimes with people.
The first piece of music I ever bought was Freestyler by Bumfunk MC on cassette tape when I was like 6.
I absolutely love that song. I don't care who knows it. I love that song. That is
Freestyler. Fuck the microphone. Here radio with the freestyler.
Okay, you're the first to do that on the podcast.
I'm probably the only one to do that on the podcast.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. Okay. I usually ask, have you got any like special mentions about yourself or something interesting that people don't know? But would you class your...
I think everyone knows just about everything about me. I'm a comic book nerd, wrestling nerd. I mean, I used to fill my Facebook up every day with like a single pro wrestler, like pro wrestler of the day. And the only thing I would think people don't really know about me is, oh God, I'm going to have to really dig to think what people don't know about me now. Yeah, I've got no...
I usually say like a hobby like stamp collecting or something, but...
I know a few people that do it, but it's not for me.
What, stamp collecting?
Yeah, it's just not for me.
I can't understand that one. I really can't.
But though lately I was paying my child support from my bank, and I just turned around and there was this like charity thing with a load of books, and I looked at it and I just thought, this is a bank, you get more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime. And the bank I'm on, HSBC, a few years ago they got done for laundering Mexican drug cartel money, didn't they?
I didn't know that.
Well, they did, and they're funding like various war campaigns and all that, but I'm too lazy to switch banks. So I walked up and there was these Warhammer 40k books. So I just picked them up, and now I've been trying to like dedicate myself to the lore and get into it, because when you look at it at first glance, it's just too big. But when I ended up just watching some YouTube video the other night about it, and it was like, okay, yeah, this is actually really good. Whether or not I'll turn to playing tabletop games is, I don't think I will. But who knows?
Well, I'll admit I used to do it a while back, and I started out on Ultramarines, I think they were called, and then kind of moved on to Chaos.
I'm a total noob. I know what the Ultramarines are, but for me, if I had to choose a faction, I know it's not 40k, but I'd have to go with the Skaven.
Skaven?
Yeah, for 3 reasons. 1, they're rats. 2, they're tramps. 3, there's actually an American band, they're no longer active anymore, called Skaven, that were playing like some of the best cross-punk I ever heard. And they had 2 bass players, which was really sick.
Wow. I'm going to have to look them up now. Literally, when I edit this podcast, I'm going to look them up. I'm going to put it in the show notes if I can find them. So,
they're on
or
YouTube.
Send me an email or something.
Yeah, I'll forward it you through Facebook.
Yeah.
I've got their discography vinyl, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a big like tape collector and CD collector. I don't collect vinyl so much anymore because of postage rates, and some people are just really, especially if it's old, like 20-year-old vinyl, 30-year-old, like an original pressing of a Meebix. It's just like, Jesus Christ, mate, for that money, I could have like done me flat up, or I could have moved out. Not that I want to move out my flat, but still, it's like, not made of money.
Well, yeah, none of us are. I'm completely admitting to that. Okay, let's delve more back into the promotion side of things. What is one of your most favourite bands that you've actually got onto the stage?
You mean to work with or listen to?
Well, but let's do both.
Okay, to work with, I'm going to have to say, and this is my all-time favourite gig, we had Kolosloff from Leicester opening. Actually, what am I saying we for? It was just, I'm the one who ran it. We had Kolosloff from Leicester, who's this dark ambience guy. He's got just like this little tablet with a load of effects pedals. I booked him later on this gig I did at the Running Horse, and he literally cleared out the entire venue.
Yeah?
Yeah, I find stuff like that kind of funny.
Is in people paid to get in. And
it was a free entry show.
Oh, it was a free entry.
And he was the first band on.
What, and he literally just cleared the venue? Everyone left.
And then when he finished, they came back from the smoking area, and he's told me some funny stories where he's done a gig, cleared out the room and just took a selfie with the sound engineer. You might as well.
Sorry, say who he is again?
Wooly Kolosloff.
Wooly Kolosloff.
Yeah, Kolosloff's his project, but everyone calls him Wooly.
Right, I'm gonna have to look this up because that sounds like very interesting music.
He got featured on BBC Radio 6 I think it was last year actually.
All right.
Yeah, he does all dark ambience. Then we had Dark Mother on from Nottingham. They're now a 3-piece, but back then they were a 2-piece. It was Holly, who does hairdressing, I think it's in the Loft somewhere, and Beth, who's now just moved to Manchester, I think.
All right.
But yeah, they were good. They're very... imagine if Electric Wizard was fronted by Courtney Love.
Okay, I know Courtney Love. I haven't really delved into Electric Wizard. I've watched a couple of songs because someone was saying there's no way I'm ever going to go watch them.
I watched them once.
Yeah.
I watched them at the first Temples Fest, and it was just too crowded, and I was just there like, wow, everything's kind of blurring into one here. But no, Dark Mother are cool. And then we had, I pronounce it Kania because of, it was pronounced that way in Akuchi the Heartless on PS1.
Yeah.
It's Caina, but I've been pronouncing it Kania. They tell me it's Kana, but because of video game pronunciation, I've been calling it that. And Andy, the guy behind that, Andy Curtis Brignall, what a legend, one of the most loveliest people I think I've ever met. I remember once usually after the gigs, everyone's like, I did a good job. He personally messaged me, was like, you did such a Herculean effort, that was the best show we've ever played, and just made me feel really good about myself. And at the time, I had quite a lot of mental health problems, and he just made me feel like decent about myself. And the headliner was Crowhurst from the US, who's a harsh noise artist. He's called Jay Gambit. Lovely bloke.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of weird to me, though, when I go on his Facebook or his band's Facebook and I see, like, pro wrestlers like Scott Steiner, like, just filming themselves from the phone saying, check out the new Crowhurst album. And it's like, wow, what power he has. The Iron Sheik even said he is, like, got the best album out of all time. Which, to me, is just like, whoa, cool.
That's very interesting. I just want to pick up on one thing, if you don't mind talking about it.
Sure.
Which is the, when you said about the mental health stuff and you were picked back up, I find this scene very supportive from nearly everybody.
I can say how it is supportive, but at times there was one incident where I had, let's just call him the originator of Blame Phil, on my back over something because I did this gig and the guy who was supposed to be running door for me didn't even turn up. I've forgiven him for it, we've made up. But I had this band from Chile on, right? Now, I don't know about you, and I know all bands have got to get paid, but if something's gone wrong, you know, and you've got a band from Chile and you're only from Derby, I think the Chileans deserve a bit more, don't you? Because they've had to travel a long way.
Well, yeah, but you set up terms at the beginning, don't you?
Yeah, we set up terms, but you never know what could happen on the night. It could be a dead night, you know, stuff could blow up. You don't know what's going to happen until the gig happens.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I had a very shoddy tour manager on my case, just had problems in my life in general, and it all just got too much, so I just disappeared and deleted my Facebook and was just like, look, I'm done. I cancelled a load of gigs, which in hindsight I shouldn't have cancelled.
No.
But, you know, just things broke down for me. And then when I got back up, I thought, look, I'm not booking gigs anymore. Yeah, I know that statement has not aged well. But, yeah, and then someone just put, oh, you're only saying that until you quit again. It's like, hang on a minute, you've only ever been to 3 of my shows. Where were you when I was running 5 a month at the Running Horse? Or where were you when I was doing this, that, the other, you know? So to me, sometimes gig promotions is hard work. And I think, I'm not saying people have to go to my shows or Phil's shows or anyone's shows. Just remember, sometimes, like, as promoters, we put a hell of a lot on the line to do this stuff. I know some promoters who've ended up breaking themselves financially. Yeah, there's been times where after gigs, I've had nowhere to go, so I've had to sleep in the streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, I've had to do stuff like that, and, well, mainly because I couldn't be bothered to walk back to Gedlin or Bulwell or wherever it was, but it was like, I just felt, there's been times I've just felt so down after a gig, I've just sat in a ditch somewhere in a street in Snenton and just drank, just feeling sorry for myself. But there's also been gigs where I've said to myself, look, if I have 3 kids, I would lob you out this venue quicker than I can bloody click my fingers. Some bands really are just annoying, and some bands think they're bigger than what they are, and stuff like that grinds on a person, because it feels sometimes like these are full-grown men, and I have to wipe their backsides for them. These are full-grown men who, they've got a tour manager who's told them everything. I'm not saying tour managers are bad, per se. I've had some really good ones. But sometimes you just get people who just take you for everything you're worth. They make you feel worthless, and you can't deck them because you've got kids and there's cameras everywhere, and you just can't do certain things. And it's just like...
Well, and your reputation would go down, wouldn't it?
I know, but in some cases, you know, their reputation's gone down through their actions, and the promoters who've worked with them and anyone around them, their reputation's gone up. So, yeah, sometimes it's just debilitating. But that being said, though, on average, most of my gigs are great, on average. I just want to stress that right now. And if anyone I've worked with in the past is listening to this, you know who you are. Big up.
Nice, definitely. Okay, how can I best phrase this? What's the craziest thing that's ever happened at one of your gigs, other than the whole crowd walking out?
Don't know if I should really say this, but okay. It was my first ever gig, and just for thing, I'm not going to say who the bands are, but they weren't bad bands. They know who they are. It's just I don't want to get wrong impressions out there.
Right.
One of them, it was after the gig, and we was in the upstairs room at Old Angel, and one of the members got her breasts out and goes, "Hey Lee, rub your nipple against mine." Well, it's first ever show 6 years ago, so I thought, why not? So yeah, I'd say that ranks up there, and then that's never happened again since, and it couldn't because I'm happily taken, but you know, stuff like that. There's been another good one is I've ended up, do you know Forgotten Tomb from Italy?
Not well.
Yeah, well, I had them at Angel, and we just ended up just playing Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat, when they used to have that on arcade cabinet at the Old Angel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and we ended up playing Street Fighter with them, and we played the whole whose government is more corrupt, Italy or Britain. And at the time, we had David Cameron as Prime Minister and the news about the pig had just come out.
We don't do politics on this podcast, unfortunately.
I'm not going too deep into politics. I'm just saying he was in the news for the pig head, if you remember that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I told the Forgotten Tomb that and Nocturnal Depression, and they both just looked at me like, whoa, good God, that beats us.
And that's Italy as well. I've heard some stories, but as I say, I don't tend to go into that too much.
Funny, because every Italian band I've ever had have always been like really polite and really gentlemanly, and I've always got on really well with them. It's always been fun with them.
I always have, especially with Italians are absolutely brilliant. I don't know if you listened to the podcast that I did with Luca,
Yeah,
the
I know
mastering
Luca.
engineer.
I know him.
He's absolutely was a great chat, and he's such a nice guy. It's on top of it.
He's all right. I don't know him that well, but yeah, he's all right.
Unlike other countries, I won't mention.
Nah, you get idiots everywhere, man.
Of course you do.
I've met idiots in, shall we just say, the alternative scene. I've met idiots who are chavs. I've met idiots from all over the world. But at the same time, I've met people who are chavs that are some of my best friends. And I remember when I first moved to Bulwell, you know, I had patched up jeans with band patches and ripped up denim on them. I had a denim jacket like you saw me walk in with, covered in band patches.
Yeah.
And they just made me feel dead welcome. It was like, you're all right. They just chatted to me and it was just like, cool, sound.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes you just got to just go in and just hope for the best. And it's usually the worst thing you think is going to happen doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just one of them.
I'm going to have to live by that a bit because I do stay clear of a lot of places because I just don't want to get into situations with people. And my wife didn't understand it when she first met me. She was like, oh, let's go to this bar. And I'm like, I'm really not going to because I can't stand the lingo, as you'd call it.
I don't really get too bogged down by that because when I'm at my local, there is a lot of the lingo.
Yeah.
But I just usually have my head down on the bar with a pint in my hand, just looking at my pint and just thinking, yep, I'm going to drink you and then I'm going to go home. And then I finish and I'm like, you know what? I'll just have another. And £2.40, you can't argue.
I'd be in there all the time if it was £2.40 around my local, but
Yeah.
Okay, I usually ask, what hurdles did you personally face and how did you overcome them? But I think you've said quite a few.
Idiot bands and idiot tour managers, in that order.
And how would you overcome them sort of people?
Well, one time I got held outside the Angel till 2 a.m. because they demanded hotels, but the tour manager said they'd be fine to stay at a mate of mine's ass, and they threatened to sue me, and I just laughed in their faces and walked off. But yeah, in those situations, just walk away and just stick your two fingers up and go, yeah, whatever, mate, and just walk off. Sometimes with bands, some bands nowadays, like back when my granddad was doing promotions, you get taken out the back if you did any of that rock star nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be taken out the back.
Well, it's a whole new world, ain't it?
I know. I'm not saying bands don't deserve rights. They do. It's just be considerate of other people and don't be a dick. That's all I can say about that.
I love that saying.
And as for obstacles and hurdles, I mean, I dropped out of university and I was doing a music course because they didn't like me on there. And, well, I'm booking gigs and I've done for 6 years and done quite well with it. You know, my main tutor didn't think I'd go anywhere. And it's like, well, yeah, I've had Extreme Noise Terror. What you done?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Is there any bands that you want to book that you haven't booked yet?
Oh, God, there's a lot. There's quite a fair few. I'd like to book This Close from Glasgow.
Yeah.
Quite like to book them. I'd like to book, if we're talking more metal-y as opposed to hardcore, I would really, really like to book Napalm Death, just because then I'd have had Napalm Death and Extreme Noise Terror on the resume. So, yeah. But I do have some quite exciting stuff coming up for 2020, and if I get those, it's like, wow, sick. But, yeah, I'll just have to wait and see. You never know what could happen. I mean, I was just sat minding my own business one day, and then Chris Marks from Black Skies Burns just messaged me out of the blue saying, oh, yeah, we've got a tour with Extreme Noise Terror. Do you want to book it? Okay. So just can come out of nowhere. Same with Forgotten Tomb, same with Master, same with Botanist, same with, who else have I booked? That was semi-big. Same with Die Choking, and same with, who else have I had? It all blurs into one, you have to understand that. I've been doing this for a while.
I'm going to put my hands up right now. You're mentioning bands that I don't even know of because
God, you're making me feel like a...
No, you're in such a different subgenre from me. It's brilliant. I'm loving. I'm going to literally sit back, edit this like I said earlier, and I'm going to be Googling these bands like left, right, and centre. So,
yeah. Well, I have had some big offers that could have easily done Rock City, but I just chose not to because, well, as much as I love booking gigs. And as much as there is a gamble to every gig, I wouldn't want to gamble at $3.5 grand.
$3.5 grand?
Yeah, for a free...
To book Rock City?
No, not to book Rock City, for the bands.
Oh, for the bands?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, well, one of them... Oh, hold on, I'm just going to say it. It was Nile. I got offered Nile.
Okay, I know Nile.
Yeah, but not at that price.
No.
Too risky. Very much too risky.
Yeah, I know of them. I don't know too much.
It would have been nice
music.
to book them, but, you know, you can't have it all.
Certainly would.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it would be a terrible mistake, one of the two.
Well, so... I'm just going to ask one more question. So when you book bands, I suppose you have to... want for a better expression, dynamically risk assess what the financial implications going to be.
A lot of people think that promoters are money men or money women. We're really not.
No, Phil said about that for definite.
You know, I mean, if I was a money man, good God, don't you think I would have bought me local pub by now and just live upstairs from there?
And still pay £2.40 a pint?
Yes. I'd have bought me local pub and run it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Right, we're going to take a break for 5 minutes.
Cool.
And then we'll come back to the second section, which is Not Some Rock.
Cool, I'm cool with that.
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
And don't forget to check out the actual podcasts on a podcast player, as YouTube, we don't put the music on, due to we don't want to get taken down.
I'm used to doing that in recording studios when I was in a band, and used to doing that when I was in a band. So,
well, these are vocal mics, so it's something.
Yeah. You do know we're recording right now, right?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of why I hit the record button.
All right. I just didn't want to be talking nonsense and that pick up, but whatever, man. If you're good to go, I'm good to go.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. Welcome back to the second section, which is Not Some Rock. I'm here with Lee Dowling of
Snapmare Promotions.
I thought I'd get you to say it because I kept reading it several times. I'm so dyslexic, it's horrible.
I can spell it for you if you like.
No. I'm quite happy with that one. Obviously, have you heard the gig guides that I've done?
Yeah, I see the gig guides.
Was that quite funny?
I think some of them are quite hilarious, to be honest.
I can't pronounce all these metal bands' names, and I'm just like, oh, for sakes.
I wish now you hadn't told me you're dyslexic, because I feel like a right dickhead now for laughing at it.
No, that's what I want people to do, to laugh at it.
Oh, all right then. You got me promoter's name wrong.
Right.
There you go.
Well, anyway, are you inviting the user account to your gigs? Because I haven't seen them come up yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I tried to. I announced the gig the other day, and I've been having kind of a dry spell because I've got 2 kids who were born in August. And obviously you got the 6 weeks, so it's kind of hard.
You're welcome to join. We're just recording a podcast.
I don't mind. But yeah, I've 6 weeks holidays, you know, trying to take the kids somewhere nice with the mother of my kids. We're not together anymore, but we cooperate quite well, I think.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to do those things for the kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I don't book many shows between June and September or any shows, because 2 birthdays to deal with and 6 weeks.
Fair enough. So you book your gigs primarily outside of the summer holidays then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, not just that, but you got festival season as well. Yeah,
that's a bit of a tough one, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. There was, I can't remember what year it was. It was download season. It was download, and I'm trying to remember which one it was, but on that weekend, there were 3 straight gigs that I went to. One I ran, it was Primitive Man and Sea Bastard, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They were at the Running Horse, ran by, I think it was Kez and Benedict who ran that one. I had Verdelet, and This Ends Here, Agrona, that was Wolvenkran's first show as well, actually. Yeah,
I need to get in touch with them guys. Because Phil was talking about him. A lot of other people have been talking about him.
If I could, I would book Wolf and Crown a gig every single day. I love them guys. Me and like the drummer and the bassist, we have this strange greeting call we do to each other. We're big wrestling fans and we loved WCW back in the day. And do you know who La Parker is?
Sorry, 2 secs.
Cool. Do you know who La Parker is?
No.
Is this pro wrestler who wears like a full skeleton suit because he's Mexican, and in Mexican wrestling, lucha libre, they have all the masks, don't they?
Yes.
So he comes out and he starts doing like these. He's in a massive skeleton suit. He brings a chair. He plays air guitar with a chair. And he does like really funky dance moves. So when I see him, I go, Wolf and Gran, and I do like this weird knee shaky thingy that La Parker does, and they join in with it, and it's like our weird greeting call to each other. But yeah, big love for Wolf and Gran. And the day after that, on the Sunday, there was a gig at Stuck on Name Studios, which Andy Morgan from Endless Grinning Skulls and Jeremy, I can't for the love of God pronounce his last name because he's French. Armoriskies. Jeremy.
Now you know how I feel.
I know how you feel. But yeah, they had Eel and the Wankies. I think the Wankies were on that night, and some other noise punk acts. And yeah, that was a good weekend. So. And from what I've gathered, all 3 of them gigs did really well. So sometimes you can go up against the festivals and win.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes.
Not everybody wants to go to a festival, do they?
Not really.
One thing I did want to pick up on what you were just saying about WCW. Now, that I have not heard that in years. It was always a rivalry, wasn't it, between WWF?
The war never ended for me.
It never ended. It's still going.
Still going to this day. I'll never forgive Vince McMahon for buying it out.
Wow.
And I'll never forgive him and I'll never forgive Triple H for that WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 19 between Booker T. Have you seen it?
No.
Well, they did like this big like racist storyline. Well, it was strongly hinted racist because you picture Booker T in your head. Triple H goes to him, "You entertain me, Book. People like you don't deserve to be champion. You're an entertainer with your nappy hair and your suckers." That is just borderline. You shouldn't say that on national TV, in my opinion. That's quite disgusting. And then Triple H beat him at WrestleMania because he played some backstage politics. And that's, imagine watching Django Unchained, and Django, I think I pronounced that right, doesn't get free from Leonardo DiCaprio's slave company.
Right.
It ends with him just still a slave.
Wow.
Who the hell would want to watch that? That'd be like watching Romper Stomper and Russell Crowe doesn't get killed at the end.
Okay, you keep talking about things that I have not got a clue on. I just knew there was a WCW and a WWF, and I used to watch some of it in Saturday mornings. But wow, you really did get into it, didn't you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I religiously watch pro wrestling. I mean, I even watch like Mexican pro wrestling semi-illegally. I watch Japanese stuff with New Japan. And here's a bit of trivia for you. You know, in Mexico, pro wrestling came out of bare knuckle fighting.
Oh, right.
Lucha Libre translates to free fighting. And if you watch CMLL, don't ask me to tell you what that stands for.
Okay,
I can't do Spanish.
It's a bit like
that LL means Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
But like because the demand for the product was so big, they had to build their own arena. And true fact, and this is pointless trivia, it was the first air-conditioned sports arena in all of Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to bring it back to the questions for a second.
Yeah, I think the audience is getting sick of hearing about pro wrestling.
Well, probably, but I could sit here and talk all day about things I don't know
Maybe
about.
That's another podcast idea, pro wrestling talks.
Definitely.
Notts Wrestling Cast.
Is there a Notts Wrestling
House
stuff?
of Pain.
Oh, right, okay. Gonna have to look at this.
They're a wrestling school and I used to train there, and yeah, they do shows in St. Anne's. They did one at City Hospital few weeks ago, I think. But yeah, they're still going. I used to go see the guy who runs the school, Sticks.
Yeah.
I first met him when I was like 8, 9 years old as a kid. Because he used to come out, because my uncle used to take me to the shows at the county ground, because he used to have wrestling shows.
Yeah.
And I met him there and I high-fived him. But when I saw him the second time, he was being a bad guy. And I went to high-five him because he was like, "Oh, that's that guy from last time." And he smacked me hand really hard.
Wow.
And I went back and I was like, "Yeah, I remember you. You smacked me hand really hard." But, you know, they got to get heat somehow. It's all character play, innit?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, if you... I've been told this has been a loaded question. I'm going to have to change it.
Nah, try me. Hit it. Give me your best shot.
Well, no, okay. If you do love knots,
yes.
What do you love most about and enjoy about knots? Not so much the alternative scene, but knots itself. That made absolutely no sense.
I know what you meant. What do I enjoy about Nottingham? That's not the gigs. For me, I quite like walking around on the Gedling Country Park.
All right.
Yeah, it's just quiet, isolated. You know, some days I just sit there and think, you know what, why don't I just get a couple of cans, just sit up here and just drink up here in silence, like I used to do before I had kids, you know, and of course, my local.
Yep.
At £2.40 a pint.
I think that's a great thing to love and enjoy about knots. Like I've told people several times on this podcast, I come from Henley-on-Thames. When I left, it was £4 something a pint, ranging from 30
is it bad?
to
I have
70,
no idea where
90.
Henley-on-Thames is.
Oxfordshire.
Oh,
darling, we all speak like this there. Oh, it's very posh, you know. We don't say...
It's not.
We don't say fuck, we say fark.
Nah, that's a lie, because Black Skies Burns are from Oxfordshire, and I've booked them a few times, and they're nothing. They are not posh boys.
I'm not saying all of Oxfordshire's posh, but just
Matty Andrews
Thames
is from there.
Oh, you know Matty then?
Yeah, I've booked him like once, I think. No, yeah, I've booked Matty, and the irony is...
Mordau.
Mordau.
Yeah.
When I booked them, we had Arm from Apocalypse were added as last minute, but it was £1 entry. They're from Arm for Apocalypse from the States, but they were cool with it. Yeah. And it was Mordau, and I remember Jamie, their guitarist, saying he looked down and was playing guitar, looked back up, and the room was just full, and they were the first band on because it was £1 entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had gigs where it has been £1, it's been successful. Yeah, I know Matty's all right. Bit of a silly man, but that's what I like about him, to be honest.
And like I said to Phil, he does poo posts as well.
Oh, God. I get... every time I see something... I saw something, and he hasn't responded to it because he was at Bloodstock. It was on one of those angry people at the local paper pages.
All right.
And it just said, naked man in alleyway in Lincolnshire defecating everywhere. And I always tag Phil in stuff like that because it's like, it's Phil. Another one I saw was Sunderland there's been a rise in the police being around because people are crapping in the streets of Sunderland.
Yeah.
I know it's Sunderland, but come on. So yeah, I saw that and I tagged Phil in it the other night. I was like, Phil, you git! And me and Phil have fights over who can book which band sometimes.
Yeah.
In the Facebook comments. It's all in good nature though.
I think everything with Phil's in such good nature. He was absolutely being funny as hell at Bloodstock this year.
It's Phil, he's always funny.
I met him outside the Lemmy bar and he was just like, you having a good time? I was like, yeah, we're having a good time. I'm rocking. Okay, do you know a story or myth about knots or something locally interesting?
Yeah, again, this goes back to Gedling. You know, Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings?
Yep.
Used to have an aunt who lived in Gedling, and I didn't believe this until I had to Google it.
Wow.
Nick from Wolvencrown was telling me about this. I was like, nah, it can't be true. And it turns out, apparently Middle-earth and all that was inspired by Gedling.
By Gedling?
Yeah, because of a place called the Dyke Pond, I think it's called, in Gedling. It's near the church. Yeah, apparently that's where he got the idea for Middle-earth. And obviously, 1920s or whenever it was, like 1910.
Must have looked a lot different.
Yeah, it would have looked a hell of a lot different. Yeah, because back when that beautiful miners' pit was open. Bloody Thatcher. But anyway, enough about politics. Yeah, that was actually inspired in Nottingham. So, you know, that's a bit of pointless trivia for you. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
I don't think that's pointless, to be honest. I think
some people.
I think some people are going to be going. I think some people are going to be running up to Gedling, going, "We're taking the hobbits to Isengard."
If you do that, please pop in my local and buy me a pint for that. £2.40, thank you.
That's brilliant. Okay, what's your most favourite part of Notts or Nottinghamshire?
Again, this goes back to Jason from Sleaford Mods. It's a shithole. Everywhere's a shithole, but it's home. So I'm just going to say all of Nottingham is my favourite part. Every part's got its good parts.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that a mate of mine told me, the bigger the shithole, the nicer the chippy. So
The chippy.
Yep, the chip there.
Oh, fish and chip, yeah.
Fish and chip, takeaway, usually the bigger crap hole it is.
Yeah.
And not like that, but every area's got a nice part. I mean, in Bulwell, if you're into gym stuff, they've got Our Bodies Gym, which is really good over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, and just past Gregory Boulevard, there's a gym I go to, golf, so that's really good. And, everywhere's got its little niches and little cliques and little, nuances. Yeah, that's the term I was looking for. But, yeah, everywhere's got that, and Notts is just a strange place. I mean, I did a gig once on a Wednesday night, and I was clashing with 2 other gigs, booking similar style music. I had scored a Torah. Someone had, I think it was Kez and Benedict had this doom metal band or something weird like that.
Yeah.
And can't remember the third one, but I know I was clashing with 3 gigs. And it's like Chris said when he was on air, we're always punching above our weight in terms of gig numbers. And yeah, it's quite common to see gig clashes on Wednesdays or weekdays in Nottingham. A lot of people take that for granted, and I don't think outside of London anywhere else does that. So, strange little city. Strange little city.
I love that saying, strange little city. I think
it is.
As you've probably heard me say a lot of times, I love this place, really do. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do love it.
It's got a lot of quirk, strangeness, and charm.
You're more than welcome to sit down if you want. We're just recording a podcast. No, you're more than welcome to sit down.
We're looking for people.
Oh, right.
I can see who you are from the there's an else in here.
Don't worry. Yeah.
And this is the joys of doing a podcast in Salutation on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, people come in. That's fine. I mean, it wouldn't bother me if someone sat next to me and just moaned about
I'm quite happy. Like I said to Jay, I only closed the door because we're just trying to cut out a bit more of the
feedback loop.
Music. Well, it's the music more than anything. I don't want to get a strike for copyright or anything.
To be honest, at this point, I don't think anyone really cares anymore when it comes to copyright.
Oh, they do. Have you not heard the news that's going on with Katy Perry and whoever
I don't
them
follow
dicks
stuff like that.
Oh, no, nor do I. But Katy Perry.
Say what you want about her, mate, but
yeah, well, that's my choice.
Yeah, say what you want about her, but a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not degrading her and saying that's all she is, but she was a very beautiful woman back then.
Definitely.
That being said, though, I would quite like to go see Lana Del Rey in Manchester.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I'm not just... All right, the way I see it, you can listen to whatever you want to, but there's always going to be, like, that one, pop star you're always going to fancy.
Okay, I've said it to a lot of people recently. Miley fucking Cyrus. Have you seen that video for Nothing Breaks Like a Heart?
No, I haven't.
Where she climbs from the front seat into the back seat in a thong. That's all I'm saying. Everyone needs to go check that out. Literally, doesn't matter what sex you are, what gender you think you are. Definitely go check it out.
With me, Miley Cyrus, I can remember when, and this is slightly political, I can remember when she did that twerking thing on stage at that MTV award. On that same day, the USA declared war. I think it was either on Libya or Syria. But,
right.
So, yeah, and that covered all the front newspaper and headlines. And to me, it's just like, wow. I'm not saying she was involved in it, but it's like, distraction.
So, seeing as you keep talking about all these sort of things, did you join that group to storm Area 51?
Well, no, I didn't, because...
Were you tempted?
No, because the thing that gets me about Area 51 is like, if you... Well, I've read about it, and the thing is, there aren't aliens in there.
No?
No. What it was is the Roswell incident, it's believed Joseph Stalin would take, undesirables of his society, and Joseph Stalin ruined communism for me. But yeah, and he would mutilate them with plastic surgery and all this, that, the other. And what is considered proto-drone technology that we have today would send them into America. And that's what some people believe, and some investigative journalists believe, was what Area 51 was. Because think about it, if you've got an atomic bomb and the Russians have sent that at you, you're going to be a bit up in arms. And it's believed as well that America, they would take Down syndrome kids or something like that and do horrible experimentations on them. So yeah, I don't really would think storming Area 51 to clap those alien cheeks when it could just be I'm really hoping I'm wrong on that.
A load of Russians with vodkas in their hands.
Or, like, you know, just a load of mutilated, surgically altered, dead children corpses. So, yeah, I don't really want to see that. And
Okay,
not just
this is getting a bit grim now.
And not just that, but why is it like these Area 51 geeks want to storm that? Why can't they go storm their local gym and put some weight on them? Or storm their local music venue?
Or storm the local gym and take some weight off.
Yeah, and that. You know, storm a local gym, get laid, you virgins. That being said, when I was watching the G1, which is a wrestling tournament, they were doing this big thing about one of the wrestlers, Bad Luck Fale. He was going around saying, we're going to storm Area 51. And he's a big guy. He's like just under 7 foot tall. And it's like, yeah, mate, if you're storming Area 51, I'm just going to, like, if I went to it, I'd just hide behind him and be like, yep, I'm fine. I've got Fale. I ain't got to worry about nothing.
Okay, I put my hand up. I put 50 pence in him by mentioning Area 51. That's brilliant. Oh, right. Okay. A person gets off a train or bus, then checks into their hotel, then goes into the bar that you're in and asks, I've never been to Nottingham before. Where's the one place you recommend I should check out next?
Woollerton Hall.
Yeah?
They filmed bits of The Dark Knight Rises there, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they've got the beautiful deers and stags.
That's cool.
I took my kids there once, and like when they ever see the deers, they like my middle child, her eyes really light up. She loves it. And there's a farm not far from me. It's not. Is it Stonebridge Farm?
I don't know.
I think it's Stonebridge Farm. Yeah, not far from me. They've got like alpacas, llamas, and my daughter's called Alana, so you know. Alana meets a llama, you know, stuff like that.
It's rhyming now.
Yeah, my oldest, she's not really, like, into that kind of thing, but she'll see some owls like, oh, so sweet. Especially with cats, she loves cats. And my son, well, he just runs around everywhere, sees the owls like, starts waving his hands around, clapping, and just runs around. It's great. But yeah, there's plenty of, like, historically interesting things. I mean, you get the cave tours. I've had bands come over and they've... Remember when I had Master play Angel, one of the bands said, why can't we open the Angel's brewing room? And I was like, well, that's the caves. You can't store your gear in there. It's like, what's in the caves? Well, you do know if you go, that's where some dead bodies from the plague were buried. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's a big thing. It was an old smuggler's tunnel on it. It used to get booze in there. You know, they used to bury people in there. You know, just stuff like that. And he just looked at me and his jaw dropped and he was like, wow, strange place.
Well, you just made my jaw drop. So there's caves underneath the Angel.
Yeah. The caves travel all the way.
Oh, everywhere has got freaking caves, hasn't it?
City of Caves,
We
isn't it?
always get onto this, don't we? So the City of Caves goes underneath the Angel.
Yeah, it does. I mean...
Oh, wow.
No, Nottingham itself is the City of Caves.
No, I know that.
So what would you expect? I mean, it's the city centre.
Yeah.
It's like people say Gedlin's like the village of the hills, because there's hills every bloody way. There's caves everywhere in the city centre.
Yeah. Like
Everyone
a
knows that.
honeycomb, ain't it, or something?
I haven't really explored it because I'm not really into that kind of thing, because I don't like caves full stop. But, because I like to be able to see where I'm bloody going. But, yeah, it's like, every bit of Nottingham, the main city part, is just a cave, if you ask me. And, of course, there are rumours that they're building across from rescue rooms is a Mason club, allegedly.
The building across or the building next to it?
The building across from it. Like, you know, as you go down that, you know where you go out to smoke in rescue rooms and you go down that little pathway where the burnt building used to be. I remember that got burnt down. Yeah, the building straight across that sticks out in the skyline is rumoured to be a Masonic lodge. I don't know.
The building next door is?
Is it really?
Yeah, the building next door is, because Christ, I haven't talked about this in a while, but my ex my main ex in my life that I spent 4 years with, she used to run burlesque nights in there.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, and I used to do the DJing with short hair, and then
There's no wrong with short hair, mate.
And then I left her, and then I grew my hair long, and I grew a beard because she said that If I grew my hair long and grew a beard, she'd never sleep with me again. So she went.
Fair enough. I bet you saw some right strange things in that place if you were DJing in the Masonic Lodge.
It was good. It really was.
Did you see like the weird handshakes and the kiss the turkey's arse?
Oh, is that what I kissed?
Yeah, I don't like places like that, man. They're just full of rich people who screw over everyone else.
I didn't know what it was.
Well, that's the stereotype of the Masonic Lodge. You know, you kiss a turkey's arsehole.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't do it. That, and I'm vegetarian, so hell no.
Oh, so you're a vegetarian as well?
Yeah, I only recently started doing it because when my ex left me, I was all alone in the flat, and I was like, right, well, I've got to, like, you know, when you've had like a big shift, you've got to readjust yourself financially. Yeah. So I was like, well, meat's a bit too expensive. And the girl I got with, who I'm still with, she's a vegetarian as well. So I thought, well, I can eat corn stuff. Then I realised just how easy it is to cook. And I'm a lazy cook. I'll say that right now. I can't be bothered to stand over a pot and just keep spinning it.
And make something fancy, Nancy.
Yeah, I really can't be bothered with that.
Yeah.
I'm a simple meal kind of guy. So to me, it's just like, okay, 3 minutes in, done, spag bowl ready. Obviously, the spaghetti takes a bit longer, but the mince on corn, it's only like 3 minutes. So it's like, got that done, go put it on my lap in my living room, fight my cat off who's trying to get at it, and just watch pro wrestling or something, or whatever it is I'm doing. So yeah, it's just, I just find it easier to cook, and I'm less likely to get food poisoning off it.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Sorry, give me 2 secs. Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry about
it. Okay, gonna move on to the next question.
Cool.
What is your most treasured musical object? And it doesn't have to be an instrument.
Hands down, my anti-sec t-shirt.
Your what?
My anti-sec t-shirt.
Oh, right.
They're a punk band from like the 80s. I love them. I mean, even their new album they put out quite a few years ago, I thought it was quite enjoyable, bar a few tracks. But, you know, even if the album inlay notes came off as really pretentious, but, you know, I suppose if you spent all the 1980s living in squats, not washing your clothes and playing what was considered the original hybrid of metal and punk, you know, you'd be a bit up your own arse too, so I suppose there's that. But at the same time, that shirt means a lot to me. Same with the Resistance Culture hoodie, because they were my best friends. He wanted to be buried in that shirt, and he got told he had liver cirrhosis, and he didn't stop drinking, so locked himself away, just kept drinking, and then died. His ass mates, I was supposed to get all this stuff, but there was no in writing, so I never got it. And I just went to this shop that's not there anymore in West End Shopping Arcade and just saw it on sale, and my heart just sank, and I nearly started crying because it's like, it's my best friend's stuff. So I ended up buying the anti-sex shirt and the Resistance Culture hoodie, and to me it's just like, every time I wear it, it's like, oh yeah, he's still alive a little bit. So yeah, they're my most treasured musical possessions. 2 band merches.
Sorry, I've still got
a cough. Don't worry,
I've actually still got a cough from Bloodstock. I'm doing this the weekend.
How was Bloodstock, by the way?
It was good. It was really good.
Cool.
You should listen to the podcast they released yesterday. It was
right, I'll check that out.
You've obviously watched Pemphigoid.
Yeah, I've seen Pemphigoid. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Pemphigoid.
Periphegold
or something like that. I've been pronouncing it gold. I've been really sticking the gold on the end.
Have you heard how I used to pronounce it?
Yeah.
Pemphigoid. And then I got told by my friend Sam from 3 years of winter. I can't pronounce their name.
I've booked them before. Yeah, they're good lads.
And he was like, it's Pemphigoid, not Pemphigoid. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't do nothing right.
I didn't know you'd pronounce it as goid. I thought it was gold. I was like, Gold or something like that. It was like, yeah, but yeah, I saw they won Metal to the Masses, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool for you.
Well, it wasn't that they won Metal to the Masses. It was Widows. It was Widows that won. They got through to the New Blood stage, and I think seeing them on the New Blood stage, it should have been on the Sophie stage. But Pemphigoid got it right again. They were on the Jaeger stage, and there was a mosh pit, there was a circle pit, and there was crowd surfing. And there has never been crowd surfing in the Jaeger stage that I know of.
Has there ever been like hardcore dancing at the Bloodstock Jaeger stage or anything like that, where they're throwing spin kicks and all stuff like that?
Hopefully not. But
nah, you'd be surprised because the other week I went to this gig in Leicester, which had
yeah, but it's Leicester.
I know, but they had Sworn Enemy, Street Soldier, and Frantic State, or something like that, and Magla. And the thing is, I'm not one to do spin kicks and punches because I did martial arts. So to me, it's like I see these kicks and I think, well, that's a really sloppy roundhouse kick. But when
Sorry, say that again. What is it called?
what roundhouse kicks?
Yeah.
Roundhouse
Not a roadhouse kick.
roundhouse kick.
I've got a friend that tried to convince me it was called a roadhouse kick.
They're not roadhouse, they're roundhouses.
Yeah,
I used
only
to do
because someone
taekwondo
off
as a
like
kid.
Family Guy said it was roadhouse.
It's not roadhouse, it's roundhouse. Round.
Exactly. Sorry.
But yeah, I ended up just like Sworn Enemy from the States are playing, and I ended up just like shadow boxing and just throwing kicks, and I ended up really enjoying it. I didn't hit anybody, but I can see why they do it. It's really good fun. It's just fun. I mean, I get why some people don't like it, but you know, if the atmosphere is right, and to be honest, I've seen people say Melevance should play Bloodstock for next year, and I think that'd be kind of cool. You know, it'd be cool to get like some hardcore on there because they did Napalm Death, and if you say Napalm Death are a metal band, I would just headbutt you.
They're not. They're a grindcore band.
Yeah, grindcore ain't metal, it's punk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. So it's all that kind of circle. So it'd be nice if, because we had Napalm Death a few years ago, and it'd be nice if we had a bit more hardcore stuff on there as well. Like some, and I said this when on my last gig, which I did with Last Orders, and I said this to Broken Down, and they're like a beatdown hardcore band. Last Orders like Black Flag style hardcore. Like old school hardcore. Yeah. And I said what they should be doing is getting like bands like Last Orders and like the old boys of the hardcore, and I don't say that as a diss to them. They're just older than me. Yeah. But we should get bands like that and maybe Panda Flash from Derby and a few others, like guys who were there at the beginning to this day, and all these young bands with these like breakdowns, punches and all that, put them on the gigs together, pass the torch and like learn from each other, that kind of thing. Yeah. I think that's what all gigs now, especially with older bands or bands that have got older members, should be trying to do now. Not just in hardcore, but in metal. And at the end of the day, I think... In everything, agreed. And at the end of the day, you know, I get why Bloodstock has to get bands like Parkway Drive, and it's business. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about gigs or festivals for that matter. There is a price tag. Sometimes promoters lose a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes we go into debt, and not just that, but when you book Slayer, how the hell are you going to top that? Who from that time period is still arguably relevant anymore that could pull the crowds that Slayer could pull? Yeah. Not many. And here's the thing, once you've had all them, well, what are you going to do next? So it would make sense for them to book a band like Parkway Drive. You don't have to like it, but, you know, you can't please everybody.
I think I'm going to ask you a question that's not on the list.
Try me.
Do you think there'll ever be another big band of the likes of Slayer and Metallica?
No, I don't think there could be. And if there was...
So you think that's over?
Not just that, but let's just say a band came out and did that. Would people moan about it on the internet? Would people bitch and moan about it like, oh, sellouts? Like, Bring Me the Horizon, look what they... I remember when Bring Me the Horizon started. I was there when it happened. Well, I weren't there random, but I was at that time period. And I can remember when they got barred from Rock City. Yeah. Because Ollie Stykes urinated on a fan, allegedly, or something like that. And now look at them now, and look, you can say they've gone a bit more pop direction. But at the end of the day, at the same time, I can kind of understand why they did it, because would you want to be surrounded with the likes of Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, and all the big heavy rock contemporaries? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. No. Exactly. So can you blame them? And not just that, that's the only way you're going to get like a big... See, a lot of these people, like younger people, my age, 90s kids, they look at time periods they weren't around in and they romanticize too much. Do you think bands like Metallica, yeah, they had great big tours, but do you think just every man, like every man was there? After the Black Album came, if you look at the numbers, they made a lot more successful tours. They had a lot more sales. And then, obviously, we know Load came out, and then the soundtrack to Mission Impossible, which I still remember watching on the box for the first time, because they did I Disappear for that movie, if you remember that. Yeah, I love that song. I do. I think that's like my guilty pleasure.
Do you know the amount of times that I shock people by telling them that song was never on one of their albums?
It wasn't. It was just for a film.
But people just go, Oh, what do you mean it wasn't on any of their albums? I'm like, I thought you listened to Metallica, so you obviously don't have all of their albums.
People can get stuff wrong, and you don't have to have everything by them. I mean, if you do,
I get
great.
stuff wrong all the time.
If you have everything by a band, great. Do you want a medal for it or something? Chill. But yeah, the thing is like I said, if you were to do that today, you'd have to do what Bring Me the Horizon does. Because let's be honest, the amount of people that listen to heavy metal, they do not encapsulate the numbers, because you're going to get guys who are older, of an older generation, who look at the new stuff and be like, kids today just can't do it. But at the same time, you'll get kids who look and go, oh, that's old people's music. So they kind of have to do that to make those numbers.
That was just what I was thinking.
And as I said, if you did that, would either side still like you? Probably not. So, yeah.
No, they'd still get on Facebook and put the angry face, and, it's a bit like the trams going down. As soon as trams go down, someone puts an angry face on.
Mate,
I'm going to tell you an interesting fact.
Yeah, go on.
As soon as you brought up Bring Me the Horizon. Now, I make cables as a day job.
I've heard.
Yeah, I know. I keep talking about it. It's this podcast is talking about my life. It's not about anyone else's life. It's about my life, really.
Yeah.
But
no, don't worry about it.
No. I did try and wave them in, but fair enough. People can join us. I really don't.
You probably should just get a sign on the door that says "podcast in session."
But more than welcome to join. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I make cables. Yep. 3 weeks ago, I made the live rig loom for Bring Me the Horizon.
Nice.
It was a 20-meter loom.
Sweet.
Made up of instrument cables and audio cables.
Pull that on your CV, mate.
It was like a big. I'm trying to show people down the microphone right now.
I can see with your hand gesture.
This connector was that big.
That's the size of my clenched fist.
Yeah, it's the size of your clenched fist. Oh, don't you have a big fist?
Well, they're not that big. My knuckles are more bony, but yeah, they're not that big.
But I made their live rig loom, and I'm like, wow. Okay, so if they sound crap, it's not my fault, because I do a good job at making cables.
Fair enough, but yeah, that's quite an achievement. You should probably put that on your CV at some point.
Oh, I'll put that. I'm a cabling engineer. I honestly make some of the weirdest cables you've ever seen, heard of. People will come out with a great idea, they want it put together, and we make it.
Sweet, man. Yeah, man, stick that on your CV. I mean, when I have a band from a foreign country, I put like what country they're from on my CV.
I would, definitely. Yeah, so, where's the furthest away band that you've ever put on?
Let's just to clarify, you're talking heading in the west or heading in the east?
Do you know what? You can head anyway. You're still going to end up back here, aren't you?
Okay, well, I've got a gig which I haven't announced yet coming in December, and I can't, for legal reasons, say who's doing it, but I've got a band from the US and a band from New Zealand coming to Notts.
What, at the same time?
Yeah, on the same tour together.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like tech death.
It's like Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, you've got like two tech death bands, slamming tech death, whatever you call it. You know,
you're going to make sure you invite me to that, and I'm definitely going to turn up.
Definitely.
I have a guilty pleasure of loving tech death.
Then chances are, well...
Is it harder than Periphery?
I'm just going to say yes.
Cool.
But yeah, I really want to say these band names, but
no, don't do it. Don't do it for legal reasons. Right, I am going to ask you. Name what you're excited about in the upcoming 6 months.
Well, I've just said what I'm excited about.
Right. Did I just ask that question, or was that?
Yeah, but I can go to more stuff. But yeah, after I've had them, that'll be a band from every continent then. And it's only took me 6 years. That was like one of my goals when I started booking gigs. I was like, I've got to last longer than Adam Onslaught. I've got to book 100 gigs, and I've got to have a band from every continent. And so far, I've done...
How many continents got left?
Well, New Zealand's last one.
Really?
Yeah.
South Korea, North Korea?
That's a country, not a continent. That's Asia.
Oh, continent, sorry.
Yeah, continent.
Not a vowel.
Yeah, continent. But yeah, I've had Japan. They were cool.
Oh, wow.
They were good lads, they were. Demander, great band. But I don't even know if they're active anymore, but yeah. But yeah, I'm excited of that. I'm excited for next week because it's my son's second birthday, and the day before I'm taking him to Thomasland at Drayton Manor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just taking him with the Thomas the Tank Engine toys and all that. And it's a really nice place, apparently, because I saw they've got a place for, like, quiet engines where you have to be really quiet. because the engines are asleep, and that's clearly designed for autistic kids, and I think that's quite nice.
Oh,
and
that's really nice.
it is, and I just can't wait to see my son's face. We're taking him the day before because they can't charge us if he's not 2 yet. So take him the day before and just let him run around with the Thomas the Tank Engine rides. My middle child, she loves just about everything that's childish. So, you know, she'll probably have a great time. My oldest, there's other things in Drayton Manor which I can take her to so she don't get bored. I love her a bit, but, you know, the problem is when you're at 8, what was cool when you were like 4 is no longer cool. It's like, you know, you get to that phase where it's like, look, I want to do grown-up kid stuff, but I don't want to do teenage stuff quite yet. And then you hit the teenage years, and then obviously you hit teenage years, nothing's cool when you're a teenager. And then,
no.
Yeah,
Not even cool's being cool.
Yeah.
Mum, I just want to do me art.
Yeah,
Sorry.
And then you end up hitting an adult, and then you end up like me, just in the past where I've just sat there watching like an hour of Peppa Pig with my kids, and I'm just there like, if I had a gun right now, I would blow my brains out just so I haven't got to watch Peppa Pig for another minute. And then they asked to watch another hour of it more, and I'm just sat there on the sofa just thinking, I'm just going to dive out the window soon. I might just jump in front of an oncoming train.
Do you know what? As much as you're being very down on what you're saying...
I'm not down about it.
No. The way it's coming across just to me sounds a bit like down on what you're saying about... But you're still there sat with your children.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for that.
Not just that, mate, but you tried watching Peppa Pig.
No. I tried about 30 seconds, and it's about as same amount as I tried watching Scorpions at Bloodstock.
Did you see the guy getting his thingy played with by his missus? Because I saw that on the spot on Bloodstock.
No.
Well, Caitlin Stagely, or whatever her name is, who used to do the horn in hands, it happened right in front of her. A guy getting his, let's just say his...
Dingus?
No, I don't like the term dingus. Let's just say getting his back door smashed in by his bird. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, strange
So
world.
swiftly moving on, I'm going to ask you the last question.
Go on.
And I'm not going to compromise. It can be loaded as hell.
Loading me with everything. Give me your best.
In your opinion, what makes the Notts alternative scene great?
Oh my God, what a question. Thing is with Notts, and this is what a lot of people don't get, especially if they're not from around here. You've got me booking gigs. Granted, not as often as I used to. I mean, bloody hell, I used to have like 5. Most I've done is 5 in a month.
Yeah.
And I've done that twice. I tried to beat it once, but it just nearly killed me. But you got me, you got Phil Core, you've got Benedict. I don't know. No, Benedict's not active no more. You got Kez Wheatland, who last night at the Chameleon, and I wish I went to that. He had I think they called 11 Paranoids or something like that. He had like some stoners. Kez books mostly stoner doom, and grindcore.
Yeah.
But he gets other stuff as well. And you've got Ian Bolt at Stuck on a Name Studios, who does gigs there. I saw Conan there once a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Conan played in a recording studio which can only fit 100 people in, and now they're like, now look how big they are.
Yeah.
What a world. But yeah, you get that, and there's Nick as well. He has got
Nick.
the own... Nick Wolvencrown. Nick.
Oh, yes.
Atmosfest.
Gonna have to get him on soon.
Yeah. And Nick, get
Tell
on
him
this
to
show.
listen to... Yeah.
Nick, if you're listening to this, get on this podcast now. Love you,
Definitely.
man. But yeah, he does the only pure, in my opinion, pure atmospheric black metal festival with the
right.
Atmosfest. That's what it is.
I've heard about that, and I've been told I need to turn up, even though black metal is not my thing.
Black metal can be very hit and miss, I've found.
Yeah.
And then all the like political allegations, it's kind of just like, well, yeah, this is a trash fire. But, you know, some of them bands have got good riffs and some bands are good. The problem is, in my opinion, is sometimes you get a lot of bands where it's just, look at us, we've got corpse paint, upside down crosses and spiked gauntlets and all this, that, the other, and that's literally it. And you've got Oliver
We
as
want
well.
a bath.
Yeah, we want a bath. Or in my case, what you really want to do, mate, is lose some bloody weight or put some bloody weight on and get that bloody crap off your face.
Oh, dear.
In fact, one of my funniest memories is I was doing this was that download thing I was saying about. I had a groaner on, and the running horse does not have opening windows. And it was a hot summer's day, and they had corpse paint, the rubber armour on and everything, and literally they came off stage and they looked like they were going to die of heat. It was hysterical. I mean, Sean, their singer, his face paint, or corpse paint, if I want to be cold, literally was non-existent. The drummer, Sam, looked like he was like a second away from collapsing, and Tim, the bassist, he looked like he was just like one more note away from death. So, yeah, stuff like that is just funny to me. But you also get Oliver as well. I think his name's Oliver Parker. I really hope I got that right. He does like all the big... He had Cold Hard Truth play Rough Trade, which was really good. He does a lot of the gigs there, mostly hardcore stuff. So, yeah, we got a good scene, and that's not... And obviously we got the Macmillan Fest, and...
With Chris.
With Chris, yes. I have to give him a reference, but, yeah. And you've got... Phil Taylor doing bits and pieces. You got Chameleon Calf doing what they do. And that's just not the Rock City stuff, but I don't really care that much for the Rock City venues, especially not at them drink prices.
I love the grassroots side of what all of the people you've talked about are doing.
That's how it started, wasn't it? Because if you do some research, you'll find people like Ian Bolt, Jamie from Morked Howl, for example. He's in King of Pigs, and they used to do, before they were King of Pigs, they were Bumsnogger as well. I don't know if James was in that, but their singer at King of Pigs, he did Bumsnogger. I know that is an hysterical name. 5 heads, 2 speeds. That's how they describe themselves. And they used to run Everything Went Heavy at the Old Angel.
Yeah.
Back when it was the Old Angel. And Sean, who used to do the Old Angel, he was in the Verucas, if you know them.
No.
They're like a legendary punk band. They've been around since the 80s, early 80s.
I've heard of Veruca Salt. That's not the same thing, is it?
I don't want to compare him to Veruca Salt, but yeah.
I just hear it a lot on the podcasts I listen to.
Fair enough, but yeah, the whole grassroots thing. And in fact, we used to in Nottingham have a punks picnic, which Sally, I think her last name's Sherwood. I may have got that wrong, but Sally used to run it. Yeah. The punks picnic, but too many people were dogging at her, so she just stopped. But I would quite like to see Nottingham have like a punks picnic again, or just like a semi picnic gig. It's not quite a festival.
I mean, it's like we were talking about Pagan Pride. Just turn up to the Arboretum, everyone just get a couple of cans out and have something to eat and
but
chill.
Mostly about bands, not selling dodgy skeg market goth stuff.
All right, yeah. You don't have to get political on that one.
I mean, I'm not getting that political. I mean, to me, it's just you see some very, shall we say. But then again, it is a good night out, good day out for the kids, so it's got that going for it. But yeah, it would be nice just to get just not a Bloodstock size field, but just like a little mini field, get some punk bands on it, and just sit and drink cans. They do it in Derby, they do it in Bristol, they do it in London. We used to do it in Nottingham, but I would quite like to see that come back.
Well, you could do it.
I'd have to ask I could, but I'll have to ask Sally about that. I mean, I'll have to. You got to remember, there's a big difference between getting a field and getting a festival.
Well,
I mean, getting a venue, is world of difference, but yeah, I'll have to see what next year brings. I'll add that one to the do before I die list. But yeah, Notts, just a place, crazy little place, it's not like anywhere else. Even people who are not from around here say it's got this weird atmosphere that you just can't get anywhere else.
I completely understand that. There are a lot of people that keep coming to this city just to listen to the music.
Oh, I mean, Nick, when he has had some gigs, he's had people travel from all over the world. I mean, when I did a gig at Stuck on a Name Studios, I had Deviated Instincts, Police Bastard, Sanction This. Who else did I have? I think I had King of Pigs. No, I didn't have King of Pigs on. I had Antisocial Behaviour Order and one more band whose name has just escaped me. But someone came all the way from Germany just for that one gig.
Wow.
But yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm going to have to say, unfortunately, I've seen outside the door at the moment. The Sal is absolutely rammed at the moment, and there's 2 of us taking up the Cromwell snug. So I'm going to bring this to a close.
That's cool.
We'll talk to you again soon-ish.
Whenever you want me, mate, I'll show up.
But I think we've got more than enough content today. And is there anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to before we bring this to a close?
Shout in a good way or shout in a bad way?
Not in a bad way. Come on, let's keep this positive.
Okay, I won't.
This has been like a roller coaster ride of like, we're up, we're down.
Okay, I won't check on the stats of my charity boxing match, which is supposed to allegedly be happening. But yeah, if you know, you know. But yeah, shout out to Nick Wolvencran always and his boys, Phil Core, because it's Phil.
And he introduced us.
He did, yes. And always big up to Sean Duggan, gave me my start. All the bands I've worked with, especially Black Skies Burns. And, by the way, Chris, if West Ham and Forest go up against each other, best believe we're going to kick your ass. Love you, man. Chris from Black Skies Burns, of course. No other Chris.
Right. Cheers. Thank you very much for today. This has been very insightful, and I'm honestly going to have a great time editing this and looking up all the bands. So thank you very much.
Cheers for having me.
Thank you very much, Knots Rockers, for listening to NottsRockCast over YouTube. If you would like to check us out on your favourite podcast player, please search NottsRockCast. And don't forget, if you're on social media platforms, give us a like, give us a share. You'll find us at NottsRockCast. Anyway, till next time, keep it Knots, keep it rocks.
NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and rock.